Well, hey, and welcome into the Moonlight Radio here at midnight. I hope all of you are having a wonderful night tonight. It is a full moon out there, so I hope that you stay safe. What we're going to do right now is we're going to kick off the show by running the intro, and we're going to come back and talk a little bit about what the heck we're going to be doing tonight. Thank you so much for joining me on the Moonlight Radio. My name is Turk. Let's break it down. Well, hi, hello, everybody. My name is Turk. Welcome back to the Thegrouchcouch. That's right. Today, my friends, we're talking about Moonlight Radio, right here from Mythic Magazine, I believe, volume 58. Very exciting stuff. Now, this was a highly requested thing that I do because of my last Mythic video that I did. A little bit of context. Growing up as a child, I always wanted to be a radio personality. So at any time, whenever a solo TTRPG has radio personality themes, you know that I have to jump on it. So I'm very excited to be covering this today. The plans, though, my friends, is I'm actually going to walk through it a little bit. So we're going to be going through the steps on how to play this thing together. We're going to be rolling on some charts, and then we're going to be just doing a little bit of improv until we don't want to do it anymore, all right? If you did enjoy this video, by the end of it, make sure to leave a like, because maybe we'll come back and we'll do an episode 2. Maybe we'll develop some fun random stories. I have no idea. But I also want to say, if you want to get this bad boy for yourself, there will be a link down in the description where you can pick it up, and by using that link, it will help support the show. So thank you so much for doing that. Additionally, big shout out to all the Couch crew members. You guys are getting a big old shout out right here on Moonlight Radio tonight. Thank you so much, Couch crew, for supporting this here radio station. You guys rock, rock, rock. Without any other further jibber jabber, let's go on ahead and pull up the PDF to see what the heck we're rocking today. That's right. This here's Moonlight Radio. It begins on page 15 of Mythic Magazine, volume 56. Now, the idea of this comes from the meat and potatoes of this here Mythic Magazine, talking about how to handle NPCs and come up with NPC dialogue and other kinds of fun stuff like that. So Moonlight Radio is straight up a practice prompt to get you to do some extra NPC voices and use your imagination to come up with NPCs on the fly using roll charts. It's straight up a practice activity. But I think it's kind of a fun little TTRPG in itself. I've actually done a similar thing to this called Playlist at the End of the World that does this but with music, and you roll on prompts to decide what songs you're going to play next. I think maybe combining this and that could actually be a fun, full-on series at some point. Coming up with songs, but also getting callers could be really fun. But this doesn't deal with music, so thankfully we don't have to deal with copyright today here on Moonlight Radio, on the Thegrouchcouch Radio FM. So it's pretty much what this is. But let's talk about the scenario a little bit. Welcome to Moonlight Radio, an adventure scenario where it's just your player character, me, Turk, I am your player character, and a microphone and anonymous callers with their stories to tell on the air of your radio show. Your player character is the host of a late night talk show, Moonlight Radio, from midnight until 2 a.m. You take callers who tell you their strange tales. You read occasional sponsor messages and maybe experience something strange yourself. This adventure scenario is all about dialogue. You can play this with a chosen RPG if you wish, but you probably won't need it. You don't even need a player character sheet. The adventure begins with your player character starting the show at midnight and ends at 2 a.m. By then, your character will either have had a night of intriguing conversations, or they might have learned an uncomfortable truth about their universe. This article uses concepts from the previous article in this issue, creating dialogue with NPCs, the advice for when to roll speech prompts is useful, since you'll potentially make a lot of rolls when talking with callers. Sometimes you may want to improvise by following your expectations. Sometimes you may want to roll the discussions in the previous article. They can help you decide. Moonlight Radio also uses the conversation focus table from creating dialogue with a few changes to make it fit the scenario's format better. Very cool. I'm already thinking in my head, I mean, obviously this game is going to tell us what is what, but I'm already thinking in my head that it's going to be fun to be in like a small rural town, you know, that has things going on like aliens and Bigfoot and, you know, other kinds of like, you know, Loch Ness monster kind of fun little mythical creature kind of things going on. I think that's basically what we're going to base this off of today, just as my little idea. Almost reminds me of the Adventure Zone Amnesty. Is that it? Is it Amnesty? I think it is. Kind of like a theme like that, if you know what I'm talking about. But here we have the next page. The adventure starts with some assumptions. While the city you're in isn't mentioned by name, it's assumed that it's a remote small town. Okay, so same track here. Here we go. And legitimate or not, the local community has come to embrace your show. Even the police chief sends you public service announcements to read on the air sometimes. Cool. Our show takes place from midnight to 2. It says to track things on a caller sheet, which we actually do have here. I did print this out. I don't know how much we're actually going to be using it. I printed out 2 just in case. But it does come with a little caller sheet for you to put in your segments and keep track of your time and stuff. So we'll see how much we actually use it. Here we go. Our talk show is about the strange and unusual. All right, so same pace here. Your character assumes most of these stories are made up and because people are bored, but also they might be real. Skinwalkers, shapeshifters, if the manager of the town in the general store is a lizard man in disguise, an immortal goldfish, alien abduction, alien experimentation on livestock and humans, anything and everything to do with aliens. Very good. Okay, so we actually get to roll 3 times to figure out why our character, has gotten this job in the first place. So let's pull out a D100 here. We might need some other dice along the way, so I'll keep those over there. All right, first roll. It's an 11. We started Moonlight Radio when our grandfather died and left us the station and his will, because we like to speak with others who are awake at the witching hour. But the thing is, our life has gotten weird since you started this gig. Okay, fair enough. Now, our show is broken into segments where we take calls, resolve the conversation using the rules from the previous article, creating dialogue with NPCs, conversation focus table found on 23. Okay, cool, good. Consider it for rolling for speech prompts at key moments in the conversation, which include how they start the call, the NPC answering a question, responding after they speak, checking to see exactly what an NPC says. Very cool. Checking to see exactly what an NPC says after you determine what they generally said with a fake question. Sweet. Oh, let's make this bigger again. There we go. If you think you know what an NPC will say, just do it. Cool. So this could be cozy, strange, weird, horror, or suspense. It also tells us to roll on the starting a segment table. Very cool. This is the hello focus. So the next call or segment of your show. So we do that chart. Then we do, I want to put all the charts together so we kind of know how to do this thing. I think actually the collected tables and sheets is down here at the bottom, which is cool. We have the conversation focus, conversation words. All right, then we have the hello focus, the caller's voice, radio conversation focus, weird caller focus, scheduled segments, revelations. Interesting. Okay, perfect. Exactly what I was looking for. We have it kind of in order here. Hello focus, radio conversation focus, etc. Very cool. So we can follow through this as we need. The caller's voice, this is going to be so helpful. Goodness, this chart right here actually is going to be super helpful. Just, I mean, like in general when making NPCs anywhere, actually. So like this is something you probably should print out and keep with you. This is great right here. All right. Other than that, I think this is pretty dang straightforward. We're going to be rolling on charts and just improving. I mean, straight up. So before we begin, I think talking about this is kind of important, actually. If we reach a revelation score of 20 or more, then we get a revelation at the end of an adventure. And it also says that revelation scores modify the D100. So the higher the revelation, the more chance it will get a weird caller. And it looks like revelations just kind of happen if we roll on the chart and we hit the right thing. So our segment number 1, we're starting at 12. Very good. We don't know who our caller is or what our caller is yet. So let's write that stuff down. Let's roll on some charts. And my friends is an 85. Bored. The caller is bored or can't sleep and wants to chat about random stuff. Roll on conversation. Okay, let's roll for voice since it's the next roll chart on here. 64, intellectual. Okay, then we roll on the conversation focus. 40, request. Let's get us some words here. 79 is odd, and 19 is cheerful. Oh, and we cannot forget, board takes 15 minutes and we get 1 revelation point. So 12 to 12:15. We can see that right here. Okay, I think we have everything that we need to do our very first little segment here. We've got everything for this random character that's going to talk to us. And so let's see exactly how it'll go. Well, hello. It's midnight. You know what that means. Moonlight Radio is online. I'm your host, Turk, and I'm here to talk with you guys all night long about your stories, your fascinations, or even your questions of our weird little town. Of course, tonight, the moon is full in the sky, and the sky is all clear so we can see it. I hope all you werewolves out there are getting a good howl at the moon. But for now, get your calls in. I'm here to talk, and I'm here to answer your questions. Speaking of that, we actually do have our very first caller calling in. Hello, caller. What's going on?
Yes, hello. My name is Samson.
I listen to your radio show almost every single night, and I'm up late tonight. You see, I am bored, and I have an odd request for you there, Turk. All right, Samson, thanks for calling in. What exactly is your request? Well, you see, I've been running some tests here at the high school here in our small town, and it's been a rough day. So I have an odd but cheerful request for you, Turk. All I want you to do is stand up and dance around a little bit for me. I just want to hear you do it, and it will raise my, let's say, spirits. Raise your spirits there, Samson. Well, that's weird. Well, what if I were to tell you that I'm doing it right now? And then I'm actually going to roll to see what he says to that. That is a 34. So emotional. Something about this conversation makes the character emotional, such as angry or joyous. Oh, gee. So he goes, "Don't you lie to me. I can feel it. The spirits, they tell me. Don't you lie." The spirits, Samson. Okay, well, I will do this for you then. I will stand up and dance. I'm dancing, Samson. Are they telling you? Very good, Turk. Thank you so much for your time. Good luck on your show. Sure. Thanks for calling in, Samson. I hope the spirits are happy with my dancing. Well, that was an odd call. Thanks so much for calling in there, Samson. We're going to go on ahead and move over to our next segment, which is 31. Regular. Caller is someone who frequently calls in. You know them well by now. Whatever they talk about, it's the same kind of thing they always talk about. They're calling now to check in with an update for you. Rolling conversation. 10 minutes. We get 3 revelation points from this. Okay, conversation table. 27. Explanation. Explanation of what? 51. Ideas. Helpful. Helpful ideas. Okay. What about conversation words? We haven't rolled on this one yet. That is a 15. Come. Okay. These are just straight up actual words. Those could be helpful. For me, I don't really think so. Well, maybe. Trying to get me to go somewhere with this 15? Anyways, what is their voice like? 17. Deep. Like me already? Okay. Moving on, everybody. It looks like we've already got another caller coming in. And to me, this phone number looks a little familiar. Someone who always calls into us every night. So, hello. Welcome back to Moonlight Radio. How can I help you?
Listen here. I'm calling to explain something to you. You do this thing midnight, but I have some helpful ideas for you. You should do it at like 3:33 every night is what you should do. Not saying it's a good time, but that's the time I'd go for.
Well, I gotta tell you, I'm only slotted for 2 hours every night, so that's kind of odd. Can you tell me maybe why you would want me to do that? Conversation focus. 11. Disagree.
I don't need to explain myself. Do it or don't. I'm a regular caller of your show, so maybe you could listen and heed my helpful advice. Run your show for an hour longer, or else.
Patrick Warburton is a vampire. Look, I inherited this radio station whenever my grandfather passed away, and I could run it for as long as I want to, but there are rules to regular networks. There's I would have to jump through a lot of hoops to manage that, my friend. I know you're a regular, but give me something. I'm rolling some words here. That is a 10. Betray, 70. Betray, but meaningful. Betray, meaningful. And then we'll roll on this again. It's a 38. Emotional. Betray, meaningful, emotional.
Yeah, I knew your grandfather. I was good friends with him. And it makes me a little emotional just thinking about it. Me and him had a meaningful relationship together. And right at the end, he betrayed me. You better not do the same.
All right, the call just ended there, everybody. That's weird. Very strange calls we're getting tonight. Some stuff doesn't make any sense, but thank you so much for calling in, regular. I hope it goes well. This moves us into our next segment, which we're going to roll for right now. That is a 89. Oh, plus 4 for our revelations, which makes it a 93. Scheduled segment. It's time to deliver news or information. Roll on scheduled segments, focus, and conversation. This takes 5 minutes. We get 2 more revelation points. Okay, let's roll on the scheduled segments. Here we are. That's a 58. Hold on, please. This isn't scheduled, but something distracts you that causes a few minutes of dead air on the show. Maybe it's a sound outside or a knock on the door. Roll on action meaning tables for inspiration about what the distraction is. But when your player character goes to check it out, there's nothing there. Interesting. Conversation words. We could do conversation. I don't think there's action meaning tables in here, but I do have a bunch. Oh, there it is. At the very bottom. Oh, cool. Let's roll on it. 95. Triumph or victory. So they're the same. We have descriptor. 15. Cheerfully cute. So cute victory. A what? Okay. Well, what a weird call we got from Werewolf Patrick Warburton. Thank you so much for calling in. What's that? Oh, hold on, please, folks. I'm hearing something outside. It's weird. It almost sounds like there's a bunch of kids cheering for some reason. Hold on. I'll be right back. Leaves a microphone from a distance. Hello, is anybody there? Huh. Footsteps that come back. How strange was that, folks? I went to the door and no one was there. It's awfully creepy to be at 12:30 at night to have some children cheering outside your window and then no one be there. Maybe Patrick Warburton was right. Okay, hello, focus. That is 48. I've rolled a lot of 8s today. Plus 6. 48 plus 6 is 54. I have to tell you this thing. They want to talk about something strange that happened to them or that they witnessed. Roll on conversation. That's what I'm talking about. We've got 15 minutes here. So this is going to go until 12:45. Put 4 on there. Tell you. So I'm going to write down. Roll on conversation. Conversation focus is 33. Emotional again. Words 91. Reassuring 77. Nice. No, that can't. Okay. Tell you something. I'm emotional, reassuring, and nice. Okay. Oh, what do we get from 2 more revelation score from this? Puts us at 8. All right. What is their voice? 77 is casual. Okay. Well, now that I'm back at the mic, folks, let me know if anyone else wants to call in. It's extremely strange, again, for children to be knocking out there like that. But let me know if you... Oh, here we go. We got a caller calling in. Hello, you're on Midnight Radio, Moonlight Radio with Turk. What's going on?
Yo, dude. I don't want to get choked up about this. I mean, it's all chill. But I really got to tell you something.
What's going on, man? What's up? Go ahead and tell me.
So, dude, something strange happened to me. I mean, it kind of like really helped me, but it was a nice thing, but it was really weird. And is it okay if I tell you about it?
Yeah, go ahead. You're live on the air. That's what this station is for.
So I was having a hard time, and the strange thing that happened, you see, my grandma, she passed away a couple months ago, and I was having a hard time at work, you know, and I actually I couldn't figure out how to move forward, but I swear I seen her, and I swear that she came to me, and she reassured me just to keep working, you know, just to keep doing what I'm doing. It was really nice of her to do that, and I don't know. What do you think about spirits there, Turk?
Well, dude, I've had a lot of crazy callers, and a lot of people have told me a lot of stories about spirits. I mean, even earlier tonight, someone was telling me to dance for spirits. I don't know if you heard that segment, but, I think a lot of people have a lot of things. Are you sure this was your grandma? Let's roll some dice. I'm kind of just, I don't know, coming up with stuff. I don't know. Here we go. 58, knowing. The NPC knows what the player character are talking about. Okay. Can you give me a word? 25. Creepy. Ooh.
Oh, yeah, dude. I know exactly what that guy was talking about. Pretty good job that you did dancing. You really appeased them spirits. I'll even tell you, my grandma approves.
Yeah, that's pretty weird of you to say, actually, and I kind of regret dancing at this point. But fair enough. Thanks for calling in. Literally just coming up with stuff. This is fun. This is a really fun exercise. And I really like the little revelation mechanic thing. And I think all these roll charts are really cool. Absolutely a fun exercise. It took me a little while to wrap my head around it, but I think this is a really fun little thing to do. Okay, cheers to continuity errors. I went to therapy. I'm back now to finish this video because I want to try to see how far we can get, in a day, right? Because if we're paying attention to our tracker chart, we're only supposed to go to 2 a.m. and we're almost already to 1. All right, so we'll see how this goes. And I also was kind of thinking like, I could try to come back and do an episode, another of this, but this thing is better off as one-off, right? Unless you guys leave enough likes, all right? Enough likes, I'll come back and do episode 2, all right? We'll see. I'm also planning on editing this a lot. This is one of those videos where I don't know how it's going to turn out until after I'm done editing it. Most of the time I know, but for this, I have zero idea. All right, so moving on. We're going to roll up for our next event is what we're going to do. Hello, Focus. Yes, it's me. 21 plus 8, 30. A crank call. You know, I always thought it was prank call, like prank with a P. A caller's a crank caller who will likely say something snarky, then hang up. Rolling conversation. 0 and 0. So it's totally, doesn't take any time. Straight up just a prank caller. Okay. Conversation. 71. Problem. Okay. Words. 34. I'm going to put the prank call down on the sheet too. Excited. And 39. Frightening. And we get nothing from this. So, alrighty, well, we're back in action right here on Moonlight Radio. Oh, we got a call coming in. Say hello. It's Turk here. How's it going?
Hi. Is your refrigerator running?
Oh, come on now. Don't hit me with one of those.
Because it's scary and you better go catch it because it's gonna kill some animals.
All right. Well, I went on ahead and just ended that call. Very interesting. Come on now, everybody. If it's a prank call, don't call in here. Okay, moving on. Let's roll again. That is 100 plus 8, so 108. Weird. This is a weird call. Finally, roll on the weird call, focus, and conversation. Sick. Weird caller focus. 35. Impossible. The caller recounts something impossible that happened to them today. For instance, their car took them to another universe, or their toaster printed winning lottery numbers on their toast. Okay. Weird call focus and conversation. So something impossible and 18. Oh, also, I need to remember to write this down. Takes 10 minutes for 3 points. We'll just call it 1 o'clock. Okay, and 18. Explanation. Impossible explanation. Words. 59. Joyful. Why do we keep getting the same exact words? I'm using different dice. That's honestly getting on my nerves. Give me different words now. 91. Hey, that's better. Reassuring. We've literally already gotten reassuring. Rolling it again. That's 59 again. That's joyful. Insane. Wait. Okay, 83. Peace. That's better. Something new. 57 is intolerance. Peace but intolerance. I like the time travel idea. All right, this is Turk. Sounds like we got another phone call coming in. What's up, caller? How's it going?
I have something I must tell you. Something impossible happened to me today, and I would love if you could help me figure out how or why.
All right, something impossible, you say? Hit us with it. What happened?
Well, I opened the door to my closet today and found myself thrown back in time. To a time where people were intolerant of other people. To a time where no one accepted everyone else for who they were. There was a peaceful protest happening that I stepped into. Groovy people everywhere. And I found myself back in time.
Back in time, you say? That sounds kind of crazy. Are you pulling my chain here? Let's roll on conversation. That is a 40. Sketchy. Caller seems nervous to talk.
I don't know. I was there for so long. And then you're not going to believe me, but I went back through the door and ended up at the same time. Like as if I had never left. And some things happened, and I don't know. I can't tell you who I am. I can't reveal my name, for I might have changed the course of history. It would be history that you know, but it's not history that I know.
So like what? You went back in time? Were you like a part of the JFK assassination or something?
I cannot say no more. Bye-bye.
Okay, so I really just wanted to do some kind of weird thing to kind of look at that weird roll chart a little bit. And I also, before anything else, I want to look at let's open it up over here so you guys can see it. I want to look at the revelation chart. We're going to pretend like, well, we're at 16, I think, because we got 5 from that weird call, right? So, or something like that. But anyways, I want to roll on the revelations table at least once to pretend that we ended this, right? Let's roll. What is our ending revelation? 59. 59 is, they were actually right. One of your callers this night told the truth about our reality. Choose the strangest of the key segments. That one is true. Use the other key segments as inspiration to embellish the true key segment or to give more meaning and substance to it in some way. So, a little bit of review. We were dancing to empower spirits. Someone told us that we needed to run longer until 3 o'clock because they knew our grandfather and we didn't want to betray them. We had weird kids knocking on our door and celebrating. And then they weren't even there, like spirits, like we called for the spirits. We danced and then they showed up, right? And then someone seen their grandmother in spirit form that reassured them about something. We got a prank call about a refrigerator, and then someone went back in time. So we're supposed to pick the craziest one, but we actually have 6 here. So instead of that, I think we should roll a d6, and that will be the true one. Because I think that's why you do the segments like this, so you can roll on it later. I think that's why there's 20 of them. It's a 5, which was the prank call. We could pretend, yeah, our refrigerator is alive. Let's not do that, though. 4, the spirit of the dude's grandmother. Reassuring and nice. So maybe as we're shutting down the radio station for the night, a spirit appears. Maybe it's dude's grandmother. And she appears just to tell us we did good and to thank us for talking to their grandson about whatever it was. And when the spirit appears, you know, it's like in the radio station, it kind of trips us out. So like now we know for a fact that, at least we think, that our radio station is haunted, right? That's kind of cool. Because then we could pick up next time for an episode 2 and talk more about ghosts and how our radio station is haunted. And then if anything crazy happens, like go to the door or whatever, we can actually vamp on that a little bit. I think this is a game that will grow over time as you play. But it's weird how this is just like an NPC exercise, but it really kind of is a whole game in itself. Wild. Absolutely wild. But that is it for me. I just kind of wanted to come back and do a couple more to experiment a little bit more with this before I ended this video. So let me know if you did like it. All right. If we get enough likes here, 100 will be like goal. If we get enough likes, we'll come back. We'll do an episode 2 of Moonlight Radio. All right. Hopefully editing me later does a good job. And that's it for me, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow with something else. That's right. For now, take a seat on the couch and roll initiative, everybody. At least until you find yourself calling into a haunted radio station yourself. Roll on that, weirdos, by subscribing, and I'll see you next time. Toodaloo!